Hello, this is James, and I just want to first start off by apologizing. I've got off work. I have come to the house. I'm here, and kids are everywhere. People are putting stuff in the house, and I had to make sure I got this video done today. So I'm in the car, and I hope this is okay. Uh, First thing I wanted to do was just kind of go over the process of what I did, and it was a lot easier than what I thought it was going to be to download this video. And so what I ended up doing was I had to get my computer. I got a cable, the charger cable, plugged it into that. Doing the video, this is what I intend on doing. Record the video, take the cable, plug it into the computer, download the file to the computer, and then save it as an attachment. Instead of taking out the the SD card and all that stuff, I'm just going to try to download it directly to the computer, and then after that, save it as an attachment, and hopefully it goes through. In any event, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the recordings on the phone are just a little bit limited, and when it comes to size or like time. So I apologize in advance for the briefness of what the video is going to be like, time-wise, but I will be addressing all of the points that we're supposed to address. And so this video is going to address the advantages and the challenges of group work, the types of groups, the therapeutic factors, the role of the therapist, and 6 stages of group. Also, other important factors that end up taking place, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be speaking on how it directly impacts what I do as an LCDC. Regardless of what I thought I knew in this class, I learned so much more, and I really appreciate being able to have you as a professor in this course. So first things first, when it comes to the advantages of a group session, it gives the members the ability to. And sorry, I'm moving things around in here. It gives the members the ability to communicate with one another about processing topics, and to get clarity on certain misconceptions, ideas, or fears that they may have in regards to the group process. Now, individually, it requires a certain skill set from the counselor, especially when it comes to dealing with resistant clients. Or when you don't have resistance clients, it still takes some level of I guess skill and ability to manage and read body language, or just all these different factors. When it comes to a group, the group pretty much can manage itself. Now, the group is designed to promote people to be more vocal and to engage. And so with a resistant client, you kind of find that pulse with them, and present questions to one person and say, well, what do you think about that? And just kind of, but in any event, the group does allow the group process does allow, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, the level of cohesion within the group. Now, most times when you present a topic, that's when the group gets engaged, but also that's a challenge of the group as well. Picking a particular topic that's going to motivate and move people, because you might have a group that discusses the legality of fill in a blank, and have a room full of people who have a different type of belief system, and that group is not going to go anywhere. Well, it will, but it won't be effortless. Another challenge is being able to instill hope and motivation within the clients when they come to group. That, after all, that's our job. Whatever the reason they come to group, there's a reason why they come to the group. And there are essential factors that end up taking place within that process to help generate hope. Now, sometimes The skill set of the counselor, again, is not as important as the type of group that's being utilized. So in my case, what I end up doing is I have two types of group that I tend to use, and that is psychoeducation or didactic groups, and CBT. And with when it comes to the psychoeducation group, that is just exactly that. It deals with the education aspects of the group process and what you're talking about, educating the clients on a particular topic, subject, area, you name it, gaining insight on what they know. But pretty much I'm promoting and speaking about fill in the blank, and there's not a lot of engagement and back and forth. Now, the CBT does address cognitive behavioral theory, does address potential cognitive impairments, and just expounding on thoughts that may not be as problematic but are potentially high risk. Now, the therapeutic factors of the groups are, of course, educating and enlightening the clients with that importance of having group cohesion take place and interpersonal learning. So on the part of the therapist, it is to assess the kind of clients that you're dealing with, what their capabilities are, and when moving clients to reach certain goals, knowing what the client is capable and willing to address is equally important. For the therapist, they need to maintain the structure of the group process by respecting the stages of the group. Now, in the first stage, and I'll give some examples of what I'm talking about, I suppose. In the first stage, you have what's called the formation stage. And in this stage, the therapist prepares the members for the productive process, meaning they're going to... it's the formation. They're giving rules. They're giving direction. They're talking about, they're assessing the client's abilities while in group, maybe doing some icebreakers and things like that. Just getting them comfortable with what it is that you expect to have take place with the group, meaning, communicating between one another and what have you. Now, in the next stage you have is the second stage, or the orientation stage. And in that stage, what you're doing is you have icebreakers, you're getting to know one another, but you're exploring perspectives, personalities, things of that nature. You're finding out what is going to move the group. So if you're in a position to go to a staffing, you can discuss some issues. Of course, staffing, if you have colleagues, you work with other people with the group process, you present maybe problematic clients and what have you, and they give you tips on how to become more fluent with the orientation process when people are first coming in and getting to know personalities and the difference between, of course, a bipolar, manic, you name it, schizoaffective, and certain things to do and not to do with these individuals in a group session as to not provoke them. Now, in the next stage, the third stage, you have what's called the transition stage. Now, in this stage, we deal with internal and external conflict. People who are reluctant to engage, to open up in the group process, just resistant to the whole group process in itself. And I'm sorry, I was supposed to give some examples with the formation stage, when I was talking about preparing the members for the group process. We have people in my group in particular who, when they get out, and of course the population I deal with have been on or are on parole or probation. And so the first thing that they want to do when they get out, and I understand this, is find employment. The problem comes with that is that they spend so much time focusing on employment that they fail to focus on themselves. And the same things that got them in the situation in the first place come back to bite them in the tail. And so I have to get them to dare I say, prioritize how they need to approach the situation so they can have long-term success and get that job. But if they focus too much on the job and don't show up to the groups, then people are going to arrest them and so on and so forth. Group times, we have people who, me personally, I say the clients, they're grown. If they have to go to the restroom, go to the restroom. If, don't ask me, don't raise the hand in,